Well, hello, my darlings. Well, they wouldn't let me get my balls out for this. I've just got the one, but they said I could put my own spin on things if I have to. So let's look at the celestial bodies and see what's happening this week in your very own Homoscopes. This week, my little ram, you'll continue to focus all of your energy into yourself, and surprisingly, not in a dirty way either. You're allowed to be more self-absorbed than a sanitary towel, so please, Aries, use that energy wisely. The full moon enters your house of local movements and short journeys on the 3rd, and whilst I would normally encourage you to get out there and seize the moment, as you've only just entered the new tiers, I'll encourage you to stay at home and use all that excess energy and seize something else instead. Now, Taurus, I don't want to talk bull, but given that it's the only language you know at the moment, you're only going to listen to me if you let me be frank. So here we go. Oh, Rocky! And that's about as frank as I can get. The moon swings into your house of self on the 29th, so allow yourself to have a very good look at how you're feeling right now. Let's face it, you're not going anywhere else, so right now, it's the perfect time. You know, I know it all seems flat for you at the moment, and the changes you wanted haven't happened, but try not to let it come to a head. It just needs you to make a little adjustment and take charge of your own destiny rather than the destiny of other people. Adjust or combust. The choice, my friend, is yours. Well, hello, Gemini, my favourite celestial twins. Now, they say two's company and three's a crowd, but you know what? They never tell us what one is. Well, this week, my sweetheart, you are certainly one. There is a need for open communication with your nearest and your dearest, and avoid trying to keep anything secret from them. Now that you have run out of things to watch on Netflix, it really is a time to really have a good chat. With Neptune heading back in the right direction in your house of creativity on the 29th, why not put those clean hands to good use now that you have found your muse? The full moon pops into your house of self on the 30th, which really puts you in the spotlight and gives you the opportunity to be the diva that we all know you really are. Now, Cancer. I was always wary of you, crabs, until I met you. Just ask any gay man, you make us shake, and not to music either. Whilst relationships with friends have been tested of late as you try and balance a social life, friendships and a small pandemic, the start of this week sees Neptune changing direction as it lingers in your house of the home. Now is a great time to start acting the daddy or mummy and get all those little odd jobs done that you've been putting off. It is time for you just now to start acting like the grown-up. Act. You must. The bright light of the full moon will illuminate some secrets on the 30th, and with Mercury entering your house of work on the 1st of December, you have the opportunity to really speak up at work and get what needs to be said straight off that chest. Oh, Leo. Katy Perry once sung about your roar, and there's a line that sort of sums up the last few months. I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock the boat and make a mess. So I sat quietly, agreed politely. You know, that's why I don't do karaoke as often as I should. It's been pretty boring, hasn't it? With nothing major happening, Leo. With Uranus still going backwards in your house of career and social position, and the sun shining out of your house of entertainment, the 29th gives you the choice of work or play. It's like a giant game of snakes and ladders. You can yank yourself off up the ladder or slide down on that pole. With Mercury sticking its oar in on the 5th, whether you're yanking yourself off or sliding on down, you get to be a little bit more vocal about things and say exactly how it is. Not that it's ever stopped you before. Now, whilst Madonna might have sung Like a Virgin, my dear Virgo, we both know that we're way past being touched for the very first time. You haven't quite made it through the wilderness, I'm afraid, as you'll start this week with your authority challenged by home or by other family members. Looking at your house of travel, Uranus is still going in the wrong direction. And let's face it, all of ours will be going in the wrong direction until next spring. So those changes that needed, the ones that need to make happen for you, well, really, darling, they're not going to happen. So wait a little longer. Look, we might not be able to make you feel shiny and new just yet. But that said, Neptune changes direction in your house of money at the same time. So the opportunity to escape is still a reality, if you want it. The full moon puts your career under the microscope around the 30th. So remember, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And it might be worth bearing that in mind at home at the beginning of the month as well, when Mercury slides its way into your house of home. Engage this before this. Now, If I could be any inanimate object, Libra, I would also be a set of scales. But only until I got bored of weighing everything up. You know, personally, I couldn't keep putting others first, but enough of me. It's all about you. It's time for a wake-up call. It really is. And I know that we all want a little more freedom at the moment, but you can actually achieve that if you want to. The sun is burning brightly in your house of school right now, so if you've been thinking about learning a new skill, now is the perfect time to take the plunge. I realise you've got to know that it is just the start. It takes a lot of work beyond that. Because with the full moon casting its light over your house of higher education on the 30th, Mercury entering your house of school to keep the sun company on the 2nd, and Neptune changing direction into your own sign on the 29th, you must see that the universe is dropping hints literally everywhere. It really is your time to shine. Now, Scorpio. Just because you have a sting in your tail, it doesn't mean you're not capable of intimacy with the right person. With Venus clutching on furiously to Cupid's bow in your house of self on the 1st, your thoughts turn to life with love. But remember what Rue says, darling. If you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love someone else? After 6 months of the mundane, with Neptune changing direction in your house of the unconscious, it's absolutely the right time now to open up to the possibilities that literally surround you. With the full moon entering your house of sex, woohoo, and Uranus in our house of committed relationships, it may also be the time to take a relationship to a more intimate and physical level. They say it, but the best things really come to those that wait. It's usually meant for ketchup, but we'll let you have that one. But with that wait, though, you're probably going to have to wait until spring when you can let someone through your front door again. Well, Sagittarius, it's that time of the year when it's all about you. Now, I know that this year's birthday celebrations will be a little more subdued than normal, and that sense of self that you have finally got to grips with is now facing challenges from all angles, especially at work. The full moon on the 30th in your house of relationships is really putting it under the spotlight. But as Mercury enters your sign on the 1st, now would be the perfect time to express how you feel so that you can continue the month with it behind you. Here's some advice for you as you hunt through Amazon for the next must-have. You know what? Life isn't always about money or what you want, but it might be worth putting a little away for a rainy day. And I don't mean under the bed, because let's face it, we all know what's under there already. And hello, Capricorn, you horny goat. With Jupiter and Saturn in your own sign, you've already experiencing a busy and productive time, which your maturity and wisdom has helped you to embrace. But give yourself a break. When you feel that you can't do anything right, take a step back, take a deep breath, and try to settle and relax. It's just like bottoming. Have faith in yourself and your communication skills, because a problem shared is a problem halved. And with Mercury in your house of friendships on the 29th, there's no time like the present. With Neptune reversing its direction on the 29th in your house of career, you'll find that despite how 2020 has been, your career pathway will start to be a little smoother to travel. With the full moon lighting up your house of health on the 30th, now's also a great time to start making changes to your health. Whether it's kicking a bad habit or joining a gym in tiers 1, 2 and 3, whatever you do will have such a positive impact on the rest of your life. Now, normally Aquarius, my little water bearer, I wanted you to be a vodka bearer. You're forward thinking and wanting to make the world outside a better place. But with the full moon entering your house of romance on the 30th, it's really time to take a moment to make the world inside a little better and put dates before mates. Whether you share your mega box of nuggets or stick a candle in the centre of your meat feast, it's time to put romance front and centre. Whether it's a loved one, a cuddly toy, or even just your right hand, remember to spread the love and not the germs. Don't forget to strike a balance between work and time for yourself, because at the end of the day, your wealth is your health. Now, Pisces, you're never a fish out of water, but expect work to present additional challenges around the 29th. Just stay positive, because sometimes we all have to swim against the current, and you never know. This could lead to small positive changes that make it all worthwhile. With the full moon illuminating your house of home and family on the 30th, your focus this week is clearly aimed at those four walls that surround you. They say that a person's home is a castle. So this week, sees you being royally elevated to the king or queen that we all know that you like to be. Just remember though, don't look down when you strut that crown. Well, my darlings, that was your Homoscopes for the week beginning 29th of November. I predict I'll be seeing you next week because let's face it, there's nothing else to do. Don't blame me, blame the stars. Ciao, ciao.